Hello, I'm Paul Golding and I'm from Frontier AI. I want to talk about cognitive selling, which is the next step in consultative sales. Before long, sales teams are going to find they're increasingly losing deals, even though they're using the best practices and the best tools. This is because, unknown to them, they're not merely competing with another sales team, but they're competing with a sales team backed by powerful AI that's been appropriately integrated into their sales organization to achieve what we're calling cognitive selling. They haven't merely taken some AI and bolted it onto the side of their existing sales organization. They've taken a strategic innovation approach to master the fundamentals of generative and causal AI and other advanced AI solutions in order to reinvent sales. In doing so, we estimate they will achieve a minimum of 5 to 20% revenue lift that's hiding in plain sight in their existing data, but beyond the reach of human beings. However, that data is reachable using causal generative AI to identify and win new opportunities. If we look at the sales evolution, the consultative selling era, which began in the 80s with strategic selling and then other well-known frameworks like spin selling, the Sanders system, MEDDIC, etc., what they have in common is over time we've seen a shift from sales as a pure art to more sales as a science and an art. Of course, in recent times this has been propelled by the emergence of data-driven techniques like analytics. With the new era we're in of cognitive AI, powered by generative solutions, causal AI, etc., we're at a point where we can maximize the possible gain we can get from the use of technology in augmenting sales. And those organizations that are going to master this will drive the cognitive selling era. Typically, a large sales organization is centered around a huge amount of hyperconnected sales data, much of it encoded in natural language. And what they need from that data, in essence, is saliency, to know what data matters, insights, to know why it matters, and then decisions to know how to act upon those insights. And we've probably reached a peak with the use of existing tools like dashboards and CRMs, reverse ETL, data warehouses and so on, where it's hard now to make connections and win opportunities that are information driven. But because natural language is at the heart of the sales organization and generative AI can make sense of natural language, can make it computable, generative AI can find connections in this data beyond the performance of human beings. And that's the promise of cognitive selling in a nutshell. We can take all of our disparate data sources, such as the habits of top performers, complex product knowledge, all of our dashboards, CRM data, data warehouse, win-loss analyses, market intelligence reports, and so on and so forth. And despite the diffuse nature of this data, where it may be hard to identify connections, for example, to launch a new sales campaign, the AI offers the promise of finding these connections at beyond human performance levels in order to give us the right saliency, the right insights, the best decisions to win deals. This isn't a single tool we're talking about. It's an innovation capability that will lie at the heart of the re-engineered sales organization and can deliver a plethora of use cases. In particular, taking advantage of the scalable nature of generative AI to scale across a multitude of multi-front battles within the sales arenas. The use cases are vast and include microlearning, sales coaching, ramp acceleration, blind spot detection, win-loss analysis, real-time decision support, dynamic playbooks, even relatively complex things like making it easier to integrate your product through using generative AI to accelerate, for example, API integration is possible. Again, this is a multi-front battle. There's no silver bullet. Is this just a chatbot then, like ChatGPT? Well, the answer is an emphatic no. That's the easy route, but the wrong one. To merely take your sales and to bolt on a ChatGPT or a large language model, like many are doing, the low-hanging fruit, obviously constitutes a low defensive moat. This democratized AI is great. It allows us to open up many new use cases, but if everyone can do it, that's surely not the way to win. Rather, the harder path, the right one, is to develop an innovation capability, a strategic innovation capability to deliver an integrative cognitive sales solution that is designed to have a high defensive moat and continually win deals. This means a plethora of technical foundations, a multitude of large language models tuned for different contexts, knowledge graphs, causal AI, which is critical not only to identify cause-effect relationships, but to thwart the tendency for large language models to hallucinate, affective computing, which is the ability to detect and predict emotions, especially important as we move more and more of our sales online to virtual selling. And this must all be couched within a supervisory AI system, a so-called mixture of experts, which can select which of the particular configuration of underlying models should be used to solve a particular use case. But critically, and often overlooked, we need a winning data strategy. AI is only as good as the data you give it, so therefore, one of the ways to compete in this world of democratized AI is through a strategy that ensures high informational moats around your data sets, in conjunction with partners and innovation networks and so on. But it's insufficient merely to deploy these technical foundations. We also need operational foundations, stressing that there is no silver bullet with AI. Rather, we must build an operational AI capability to continually win in this multi-front battle that is emerging in the cognitive selling era. So the integrative cognitive sales includes agile sales teams who have an adaptable mindset to work with the new AI tools. We must use design thinking to ensure maximum symbiosis between the AI solutions, the human sales teams. Of course, we need agile AI operations that is capable of not merely deploying AI, but innovating through AI and responding to the rapidly moving frontier of generational and causal AI. And finally, it is essential that these solutions are delivered through a product-centric delivery approach that stresses value and outcome, measurable value and outcome, over merely the deployment of tools, which is the kind of like classic IT approach that no longer works. As we enter this cognitive selling era then, the race now is between cognitive sales teams plus the AIs. Naturally, the team who can master this and has the best AI will win. And this implies that enterprise sales, serious contenders at least, must invest heavily in AI innovation to win this multi-front battle. Cautionary note number 1, just as your competitors have access to cognitive AI, so do your customers, your buyers. So we will see concurrently the emergence of a cognitive buying era where the sophistication of the buyers increases dramatically through their use of cognitive AI, which you'll have to match, of course, in order to win deals. Cautionary note number 2 is we have to avoid a zero-sum game wherein one AI versus another ends up in a stalemate or a checkmate, because essentially they're the same models using the same information. Of course, we can see immediately that the human element here is going to be a differentiator. And so we can draw 2 conclusions from this. The human connection cannot be replaced by AI. We must adopt an integrative approach that maximally combines, in a symbiotic fashion, the human and AI resources that combine to produce cognitive selling. That's why the operational elements, such as design-driven innovation, are essential to the success of this endeavour, and why the challenge overall must be framed as a strategic innovation one versus, for example, an operational efficiency one. Whilst there are many operational efficiencies to be gained in sales through the use of generative AI, the winners in this race are going to be those who can deploy it as a strategic advantage. In conclusion then, the cognitive selling and buying era is upon us. Our sales teams with the best AI capabilities will win, and those capabilities are far greater than merely deploying a chatbot. Winning requires a strategic AI innovation commitment using an integrative approach to maximize the return on investment from the deployment of innovative AI to achieve the cognitive sales solution.